Hello, this is Don Conklin with Pinnacle Custom Signs, and welcome to another exciting episode of Signs of the World. Today, our subject is franchise signage. Why a one-stop shop is the best approach. Let's define franchise real quickly. Franchise is when you have a parent company that has other locations across the state, across the country, across the world. A great example would be a McDonald's or a Subway in the food industry. It could be a BP or an Exxon gas station, but things that are common across geographies for the lack of anything else. So let's talk about the key components of franchise sign requirements. First of all, is there a standards guides for the signs? Now, if you're a brand new franchisor, you're probably just now starting to create a guide for signage. In other words, what are the appropriate colors, fonts, and things like that? So does it dovetail with other marketing materials? Is there a preferred sign partner? These are some of the key components and requirements to take a look at, because in order for you to create that brand consistency, which is part of what you're selling as a franchisor, you need to make sure your signs dovetail with everything else. And at the end of the day, you also need to understand what is the relationship between the franchisor, the franchisee, and the partner. Does the franchisor have the control of who the franchisee can use from a sign partner? Or is the franchisor let the franchisee go hire a sign partner and just uses standards guides from that standpoint? Now, if you're a franchisor, there's a couple of things for you to really consider. Number one is your brand standards. What are the colors? What are the fonts? What are the appearance of your brand from that standpoint? In other words, how is your brand going to appear to the public and be seen out there to your customers? Secondly is the outdoor signage. Does the outdoor signs you're looking for coincide with that brand standards? Now, outdoor signage is different by jurisdiction, depending on the city and the county and the state that you're in. Some places that are more rustic in nature have a sign guideline which won't allow you to use bright colors and bright fonts. So it's important when you're looking at outdoor signage to understand there are different companies out there, sign companies, that can take your brand standards and fit it into what the requirements of the jurisdictions are. The other thing to consider is interior signage. What's going to be on the inside? What's going to be on the walls? What's going to be on the menu boards? What's going to be on the tables? What's going to be on the floors? There's all sorts of signage opportunities to consider and other types of brand opportunities from that standpoint. You may have noticed lately, if you went to a restaurant known as Jimmy John's, which is a submarine, a sandwich place, that all their tables have signage on it. It's one way for them to do their brand standards and to get more signage into their locations. Now, if you're a franchisee, there's a whole different set of issues for you to consider. One, does the franchisor have a sign partner? Or does the franchisor have someone they want you to work with and require you to work with? That way, it would be a lot easier for you to not have to worry about what are the guidelines and things like that, because there's also already a sign partner that's been established with the franchisor. The other part of that, though, is that there's limited flexibility as a franchisee. That should not be an issue if the franchisor has picked a good sign partner. If there is not a sign partner, what should be considered? I think a couple of things out there is when choosing a sign company is really, does the company know the brand standards? Is the company able to meet those brand standards? And is the company able to make sure those brand standards will be consistent across not just your location, but other locations? And the other thing is what form of visibility? You want a big sign, a small sign, a vehicle graphic, window graphics? What type of visibility are you looking for as a franchisee? What are the key benefits of working with a sign partner? For the franchisor, it's consistent branding. Whether the location is in Miami, Florida, Seattle, Washington, San Diego, California, Paris, Texas, or Paris, Kentucky, the branding will be consistent across all of the locations for the franchisor. There's national coordination. If you're working with a sign partner, that sign partner should be the person that's coordinating the site surveys, the permitting, the production, and the installation of the signage across the country. And if done right and using the right partner, You'll have limited hassle and a turnkey approach. In other words, just hand the location off to the sign partner, have them work with the franchisee, and everything will be taken care of. Now, as a franchisee, there's a couple of key benefits as well. One is the brand promise, something that you've probably bought into if you've paid a franchise fee to sign up with this franchise. The brand promise is probably very key and important to you. And if you have a sign partner, they will be consistent with that brand promise. Also, you'll be working with an experienced partner, which has done locations, multiple locations of the same franchise or's locations across the country. And again, it'll be consistent with other locations. Let's recap some of the major items for franchise signage. Number one, brand standard consistency is key. And working with an established sign partner to be able to do that is key to making sure that all the signage across the country looks the same, feels the same, and has the same brand promise. Same look and feel, whether it's a small sign in Dahlonega, Georgia, or it's a large sign in Calhoun, Georgia. It's going to look the same and have the same look and feel. And working with a sign partner, you have a turnkey solution nationwide. So when you're opening up a new location, whether you're the franchisor or the franchisee, there's many things to consider. Working with the leasing company, working with the construction company, working with the local utilities, everything that you have to do to open up a location. If you've worked with a established sign partner, that sign partner should be the person that's able to take the hassle out of getting signage for you and for the location. Again, this has been Signs of the World with Pinnacle Custom Signs, a full-service sign company located in Buford, Georgia, but serving companies nationwide. Thank you.